The next one is the Public Sector Pension Commission. Chairman spoke a little bit about this in his introduction. This is a review of all public sector pensions. It's been carried out by Lord Hutton, who was a Labour MP, who was Secretary of State at the Department of Work and Pensions. And he is investigating the affordability, the sustainability and the fairness of the public sector pension schemes. That's not just local government, that's the National Health Service, civil service, teachers, fire, police, armed forces, all the public sector pension schemes, in the face of reducing occupational pensions in the private sector. It will only affect contributors, people who are already drawing pension or people whose pension is currently deferred will not be affected. But the outcome of that investigation will be produced in a report in the early part of the next year, in time to be built into the government's budget proposals. His interim report that was published 2 weeks ago runs to 176 pages. It's got a lot of data in it, a lot of facts and figures and numbers, and really all he's setting out is what he is going to look at and how he's going to go about it. The headline results from it is that all of us contributors will have to pay more, we'll have to work longer, and we'll get a smaller pension when we do finish, because public sector pensions are out of step and are quite expensive. Nevertheless, he does give recognition that there should be no move to dive down to the bottom like the private sector have done by introducing pure money purchase schemes. People know what money purchase schemes are. Should I briefly go through that? You're happy with that term? It's where employers and employees pay into a pension pot which is then invested, and then at the time of retirement that pension pot for that individual person is then used to buy a pension from an insurance company. All the risk as to how much the pension will be is placed upon the employee, because the employee doesn't know how much investment return is going to be achieved and will not know the price of pensions at the point of retirement. The employer only pays in their fixed guarantee percentage. So the eventual outcome of a pension in a money purchase scheme is based upon investment return, market conditions at retirement, and how much the pot has grown over the years. All of the risk is placed on the employee. Lord Hutton has said that is not for the public sector. The reason being is that you would expect, through the fluctuations and volatility of investments and market conditions, that these pensions, when they come to mature, unless you have pumped masses and masses of money into them, are not going to produce worthwhile pensions. If they don't produce worthwhile pensions, then that becomes a fallback position on state benefit. So what's the point of downgrading occupational pensions if all you're doing is transferring the liability to state benefits? Much better to retain a worthwhile occupational scheme, worthwhile public sector scheme, so that you're not relying on state benefits for someone's income at retirement. We wait to see what the proposals are. We know in truth that he's going to say we need to pay more, and when the government get around to deciding who pays more, how much they pay more, and how quickly that comes in, we don't know, but we know it's coming. It's inevitable it will come. Remember, we're not just talking about the local government pension scheme, we're talking about things like the civil service pension scheme, where they pay something like 3%. So for the equivalent pension of what the local government scheme is providing, our average contribution rate among our members is 6 3/4. So if the civil servants are getting it for 3%, he's going to take some more money from contributions. He's going to look for the higher paid to pay more contributions. He's going to look at phasing in any increases. However quick that happens, the scheme itself will change from a final salary scheme. Whether it's replaced by a career average scheme or a hybrid scheme or some other arrangement, we don't know. but traditionally it will take a number of years for those changes to filter through. If you think the 2008 scheme that came in for local government took 10 years to get into place, that's the speed at which government machinery works. Now, I'm not suggesting at all it's going to take 10 years to get this new scheme in, because the government wants to save money. So they'll speed the process up. We don't have any indication when it's coming. We don't have any indication of what it's going to be when it does come, but we know it's coming. But as I say, pensioners and deferred members, rubbing your hands, you've got what you've got and you keep it. And finally, advisory panel. This is an innovation that the Pension Authority members have been looking at for quite some time, and today, at today's meeting, they did agree that we would put in place an advisory panel consisting of pensioners, deferred member representatives and trade union representatives. If you recall, in the spring newsletter that we sent out, we asked for volunteers. Does anyone want to act as a pensioner representative or a deferred member representative? We did get some responses. We got no responses from deferreds because presumably, because they haven't reached retirement age yet, they're out working. Hopefully they're out working. But we did get responses from pensioners, so we are able to move forward on that. The intention is that we will be, or the councillors will be able to talk to them face to face regularly and get feedback from them on issues that affect them, and particularly on the services that we provide from the point of view that they actually receive those services, and they can feed their ideas and such like directly to the councillors for them to take on board and discuss and consider as part of the Pension Authority's remit in that area. So that will be coming into force in December. And we will be looking over the first 12 months to see how it's working, see whether we need to tweak it. We're not saying that we're going to get it right the first time, but it will be something that is taken on board, and we'll judge to see how successful it's been. So that's the last slide. We doing questions at the end, or yeah, questions at the end? So thank you very much.